I noticed that my YouTube page has 91 subscribers, even though I haven't uploaded in 2 years. So I'm gonna give you some content to actually watch. Hopefully you like it. I'm not in the mood to actually do a lot of filming and editing, especially. That's why I stopped, because I fucking hate editing. So I'm just gonna upload a maximum 10-minute video, and it's going to be unedited. Images will be in the thumbnail if they need to be. Book descriptions and links will be in the description box below, because that's just easier to do than cutting and splicing a video on my computer, saving it, uploading it, blah blah blah. Just do it on the phone. Filming is just much easier. Getting into it, I'm going to be reviewing Where Did You Go, Bernadette, or Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. Is it a chick lit? Is it like a finding yourself? It's like a midlife crisis kind of book. Quarter life crisis, I don't know. And it's about this woman named Bernadette, who is an architect and leaves her illustrious architect career, her budding architect career, to go live in Seattle in a decrepit old church-turned house with her husband and daughter, and she kind of has a hard time living in the city of Seattle around these white suburban people, and therefore like has some kind of contention with her past life and is like trying to get back to it. The title implies that she's actually going to disappear like 20% into the book. It doesn't happen until 70%, and I'm going to spoil this for you because I was really irritated that it was like a cliffhanger. She does not die. She does not die. That would have been really mad. Like, that would have made me really mad, because I'm not a big fan of grief being a shocker in the book, you know? Like, if you're going to kill off a character and have their loved ones deal with the grief and the coming to terms of like, oh my god, like they're actually gone, I need to move on from this, why am I doing this to myself? Then like you need to preface that in the book. Don't just put it in the last 20% of the book, and then don't make it a shocking thing. Also, don't make mental illness as a shock factor. Like, those are not spoilers. Sexuality, grief, mental illness, not things you should be using as plot twists. Never. Speaking of mental illness, Bernadette probably has bipolar disorder. Again, I'm not the authority on this. I don't know enough about this, but like based on what I read, it fit. Yeah, so characters in the book, just to make it really quick: Bernadette, the main character; B is her daughter; LG is her husband. He works at Microsoft, and there's a running joke about him having like an extraordinary TED Talk, and everyone's just like, oh, gaga all over him. He doesn't wear shoes at his TED Talk. Whatever. Audrey is the neighbor who kind of goes batshit crazy and like blows up a bunch of lies out of proportion because she doesn't get her way. Sulin is Audrey's friend and then somehow ends up being LG's secretary. And I think those are like the main players. And Manjula, who is the secretary or assistant to Bernadette, but is living in India, so does all the correspondences online through email. I was really annoyed by the audiobook narrator. Like, her Indian accent is just terrible. Like, you know, just like, if you're doing an email of a person and not the actual person, just make it a robotic voice instead of imitating an accent, especially when you can't do the accent very well. Like, you don't know where Manjula is from in India. You don't know the nuances of the cultural accent, so like, just don't even attempt it. You know, it's just offensive. Like, why be a little shit and fake an accent when you don't know how to do it, right? Anyways, actually getting back to the book. Well, no, I've been talking about the book, right? It's just all over the place because it's going to be unedited. I really liked B. She's a smart kid. She supports her mom. She loves her mom. And she's the only possible level-headed character in the book with like a reliable narratorship. Which actually makes sense because she's the one who compiled all the notes, the letters, emails, blah, 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 that like that make up the book. The book is not told through anyone's perspective, so to speak, but is told from retellings that the people have, which kind of removes you from the situation at hand until the very end. It sets you apart because you're not in the events that are happening. You're not like sitting there while these two characters are having dinner. You're sitting next to the person who's writing a letter about recalling the events that happened. So it's like this, like it's a very weird sort of telling, not showing, while still showing. And I couldn't really contend with that. It took me a moment to like dive into the situation and pull myself back out, because it would be like, so and so's writing this letter, so and so's writing this email, here's what happened here, like, and then that fed into a lot of the character biases, which was a clever trick actually. So I really hated the characters because I thought they were all like useless and like lying, but that's the whole point, right? It's a compilation of these people's retellings of the situation to their own perspective. So they're all unreliable except for B, who has the originals of the situation and was able to figure it out. Yeah. So that was just like an interesting contention to have in my brain. It also made me realize that I'm very bad at identifying unreliable narrators. This entire book was full of it, and I couldn't make up my mind on who to be like, who to trust. So that was an interesting like little squabble I had with myself. Overall, like literally everyone in this book is reprehensible, including Bernadette, because she talks so awfully about people. Of course, like white people are low-key a pain in the ass most of the time, but like you're also white, so like what do you have to complain about, you know? I just wanted to, I'm saying things I should not be saying, and I know it's gonna go up there, and I don't have a big enough following to say this kind of shit, so maybe I won't get in trouble, but I probably will. Don't take me seriously, I say things. Yeah, Audrey, who's the neighbor, is like absolutely bonkers nutso. Like when things don't go her way, and she's like not like, people don't fit into her little box. She just gets really antsy, and then she lies about things, and like she's so deluded about her world perspective. But then towards the end, when the thing happens, like she like her internal reset, when things click for her, was like actually shocking to see, like the 180 character flip around that happens. But like in that situation, I think even I would have had that split second judgment of like, holy shit, I fucked it all up, time to fix things and make that change. Like that wasn't like a surprising and uncharacteristic 180, but like it kind of made sense with the urgency of the situation. So I really liked that. Sulin, one Asian character in the book, one actual Asian character in the book, and you give me that one. Sulin was in an abusive relationship, got divorced from her husband, went through therapy, and then like her therapy talks about like, you know, you are the one who puts yourself in abusive situations. And I don't know how positive of a therapy session that is, which like, yes, research shows that if you have been in an abusive relationship in the past, you are likely to probably end up in an abusive relationship in the future, just because patterns. But like the way her therapy group went about it, that ain't it, sis. But then she does do some really like creepy abusive things when she's around LG, so it's like, you know, they kind of applied to her. It was, yeah. All in all, like B and Bernadette's relationship, like that mother-daughter relationship, was really, really touching, because like Bernadette had a lot of miscarriages before she had B, and B had a lot of, she was premature and had a lot of issues. So Bernadette's relationship with her is very much like, she's my one successful child, and I'm gonna love her like my one successful child. And that was kind of nice, you know, like that positive bond. I have no words for LG. He cheats on Bernadette, so I just, no words about it. yeah, the plot was all over the place, but I think that was the point, right? Because it's retellings that were filed in chronological order that they were made. So someone might have sent an email about an event that happened months prior, but it's set later in the timeline of the book because the email happened at a later date than, say, an event that happened the day before, or so to speak. Yeah. Okay, I'm over 10 minutes, but 3 out of 5 stars. I still haven't finished the movie. I don't know if I want to. Like, the movie kind of motivated me to read the book because the movie made the characters more likable, but the book didn't make the characters more likable, so I don't know if I want to go back and finish the movie. It's on Hulu. I could. I'm in quarantine, so I could, but I don't want to. It's not as memorable as people make it out to be. It's not as, like, as people make it out to be. The gist of it is that, like, if you're a creative person, you probably should be creating. Like, that's the whole point of it. And also, like, don't judge people for no fucking reason. You don't know the deal. There are a couple things. Keep your hands to your damn self. Don't form opinions about people without knowing their situation. Be safe on the internet. And if you're an artist, go ahead and damn well make your art, because you have the talent, you better do something about it. That's that. Thank you for watching. I hope 11 minutes is not too long. Well, close to 12 now. It's not too long. And I hope you enjoy unedited videos, because it's going to keep this format until I bother to actually edit a video on my computer. Links will be down below. And the next time I decide to sit down and film, you will see me. Peace.